Something that's kind of exciting and terrifying is that this is the first project that I'm completing, once I do complete it, if I ever complete it, that I'm completing by myself. This vlog is gonna be a mess. So it is January something. It's January 14th. I did blood work this morning, so my arm hurts. I'm gonna cut out some pattern pieces and get back to you. Watch my first Smile cosplay video for a gist of how I created this pattern, because I am helpless when it comes to commercial patterns. I have my cat ears on and I'm ready to work. So I'm gonna show you, I wasn't vlogging my mock-up process and now that's a hot mess. So welcome to my journey of making my Lilly skirt, as I've been calling it, for the Foundations Revealed 2021 contest. If I even get the garment out for the contest, because boy, oh, have there been roadblocks. Preliminary sketch just to like get an idea for the shape that I needed, because I needed to make a pattern for it, because we know that I don't like working with commercial patterns. So I made some measurements. You can see I made adjustments because what happened was I did a pattern for it. This is the pattern. This is the second pattern that I made, actually, because the first one really didn't work out. Like, I don't know how the measurements were so off. I will show you in a second. But I have the waistband here. This is to be cut on the fold, so it'll open up and be twice as big, because I will be folding it down when I make the skirt, and you will see it when I actually make the skirt, if I ever make the skirt, which I will elaborate on later. But this one is cut, this piece is cut on the fold and opens to form the center front panel, and then this is cut 4 times for the side panels. So what was my theory, my inspiration? I was kind of looking at like 1890s walking skirts that tend to have like 5 panels with the one down the front. I knew I definitely wanted to have 2 panels in the back to make a back closure easier to do by like actually having a seam there. So I'm gonna take you and show you what the process is right now and vent. When I like went to film this, my phone died. So basically what I did is I showed you the pattern. I had a different pattern. That's the new one that I made. Oh, there she goes. I cut it out like this, and so these are the 4 panels. What I forgot to account for, because I did it based off my waist measurement, was the fact that I've got pretty big hips in relation to my waist. So it fits around my waist, as you can see, but it does not go around other parts of my body. So we made adjustments so it flares out more, and I'm really hoping that that will be enough. Yeah, as you can see, this doesn't have a lot of flare to it. I don't necessarily want the most flaredness, because obviously, like, also taking into consideration like time period, I'm not trying to make a historically accurate garment here, I want to point out, but I'm just loosely inspired by 1890s, because that's the era when Secret Garden kind of takes place. I have to explain the plot of this story to explain why it's 1890s. Yeah, and then also, like, this is the waistband, which I cut to be my waist measurement, and like it doesn't fit around my waist, and I don't know why. So I have this black fabric because it has a nice drape to it, but that I posted about in my previous video. But because it's obviously a very flimsy material, I wanted something that was stiffer underneath it. I'm just like really stressed right now. This is gonna be my venting session. And I'm really not that experienced of a sewer. I think I'm better than I am. I don't know what category to enter into, because it's like, I don't want to enter as a beginner because I have some experience, but also at the same time, like, I don't think I'm good enough to enter as even an amateur. Like, I feel like I'm such a failure. I've been so burnt out this entire quarantine. I had a mental breakdown yesterday. That was fun. Like, I'm not entering this expecting to win, but like, I don't want to enter something that I'm not proud of, because that'll just be embarrassing. I was a designer first. I like making things because I like seeing my designs come to life, but it's just very, very frustrating when I can't bring those designs to life. Anyway, moral of the story is that the next mock-up that I'm making is actually going to be with the fabric I'm using as the underlining, with the intention of said mock-up becoming the lining for the actual finished product, because then it's like, one, it motivates me to do the mock-up. It's one less step I have to worry about then. I'm really stressed, and I feel like everything's creeping up on me, and it's making it not fun. When the contest went live, so before the winner was even picked, last year, 2020, I was like, oh, hey, I'm going to make a course this year and enter into that. And then like COVID hit and everything, and like starting my YouTube channel was great, was supposed to be like my motivation for working on my course. I don't even know how to explain it anymore. I need to go. I need to go before I actually have a breakdown on camera. I'll come back to you with updates. I forget what my last update was, but I finished adding the 2 extra panels. There is a lot of space around the waist, but less room down here. I also think I forget if I said that I was going to put a pocket. I was originally going to put a pocket on to do like some embroidery work, but now I'm just going to do the embroidery on the lining, but I'm going to attach the fashion fabric first. Between issues I've been having and burnout and stuff like that, I'm real behind schedule. So we'll see what we have time for, but I mean, my goal right now is to just finish the skirt itself. At this point, I'd rather submit a garment that I am happy with, that is not as detailed as I would have liked it to be, than to try to force out all these details and be unhappy with the result. So I will check back in when I have more to show. Okay, hey guys, another update. I haven't really been filming myself working because I've been doing things that I don't know what I'm doing, like learning how to work with interfacing. So I just did the interfacing for the waistband. My evil plan is to do the embroidery through the interfacing, and then I have the second layer of the waistband that's going to fold down. You see like this, I'm going to be pinning this here, doing this embroidery, and then I will be folding this down and finishing on the inside, and that way I can have no visible seams on the front. Also another change is that I'm no longer doing the black overlayer. I'll just embroider the waistband with roses. I'll check in with you sometime eventually later on in the project. Not necessarily, no promises later today, but definitely later on in the project. Hey guys, since I last checked in, I've cut my bangs finally, and I just wanted to give you some updates on the skirt. I forget where I was last, but I sewed the seams. I was originally going to just like fell them by hand so that it wasn't mad obvious, but then I was like, that doesn't make sense. So I just machine sewed them. And I haven't been filming myself sewing because I probably use terrible form. Can you tell I'm a dancer? I don't want to get criticized for my inability to use a sewing machine, which is why I'm not showing you guys me sewing. But yeah, so let's see where the skirt's at right now. So I've just pinned on the waistband right sides together upside down because I'm going to fold this up and then fold it over the interfacing. So it's like this. I need to sew that. But this is how I did the seams. Obviously it's not perfect because I'm really bad. But this is just, if it wants to focus, tiny stitches just going down. It's a pretty see-through fabric, hence why it's very, the seams are very obvious. If I pull back, you can see that. But anyway, something that's kind of exciting and terrifying that I realized is that this is the first project that I'm completing, once I do complete it, if I ever complete it, that I'm completing by myself, because everything I've tried before, either I had my mom help me and or I never finished it. I find commercial patterns so confusing and difficult to work with, which is why I make my own, because then I just like, I understand it better. It's like the math geek in me. I'm gonna be doing a whole recap at the end of this video of things I would have done differently, starting with time management, which I can't really fault myself for because I couldn't get fabric until after the new year. Because I mean, like, then again, I should just say like I should have planned it earlier and gotten my fabric earlier, but like that's hard because I don't drive, so I need someone to bring me, and late January, specifically today, is a very hard day for me mentally. So yeah, we're pushing through, friends. I don't know where I'm at in terms of like what you've last seen, but I thought I'd show you some of my embroidery that's not good because I am completely self-taught as of like a month ago. But yeah, here's a close-up of some of my embroidery if you want that. I don't know. I just did a basic stem stitch for the stem, running stitch for the leaves and petals, and then finish with a French knot in the center. But don't look too closely at the seams because they're not good. I still have a bit of a ways to go and I'm behind schedule, but the end is in sight. We've got this, friends. Hey guys, it's been a minute since I did a check-in. So I figured I'd bring you along with, I'm in my pajamas, where we're at. So I finished my embroidery. It's not the best, and I also sewed the waistband together, so all my embroidery is enclosed. I did it. So I'm just sewing the hooks and eyes on right now. So I have these little guys sewn on here with embroidery thread to make sure that they're nice and strong, and then I'll be sewing the hooks on here. I'm gonna be completely upfront with you guys. It is Tuesday, February 2nd. I'm determined to get this submitted tonight. I need to finish putting on the hooks and I need to hem, and I keep saying, oh, all I have to do, but clearly I'm struggling. Again, I'll talk about this more maybe, I don't know. I just wanted to say that like I got the fabric like the first weekend of the new year, and I had planned out a day-by-day plan of when I was going to get everything done, and I can actually, let's show you. Also, I accidentally magnetized my scissors, so I keep getting a needle stuck to it, and maybe that's not the worst thing. So this is the beginning of January. So January started off weird because I actually ended up injuring myself. I was just like in a lot of pain. So here I was planning on working on the mock-up. There was going to be a pocket on this dress. There was going to be fake roses. I literally had this all planned, you know, cutting out the pieces, working on embroidery, stuff like that, and it just kept falling through until, well, this week I was gonna finish the skirt on Sunday, didn't get to it, so I was gonna finish the skirt on Monday. It's now Tuesday and I haven't finished everything. Haha, this video was supposed to go up on Monday, but it's going up hopefully this day. And yeah, so I'm just really behind schedule, and I'm like trying to find the balance of like holding myself accountable for being off schedule while also being like self-compassionate, because, you know, like it's great and all to practice self-compassion and be like, you know what, it's okay that you're not on schedule. Like, you can't beat yourself up over it, because I definitely have a tendency to do that, where like I end up being even less productive because I'm like, you're not getting anything done, you're worthless and all that stuff. And, you know, so combating that internal monologue is like a good thing, but also at the same time, like, I need to hold myself accountable for like falling behind schedule, because when you have deadlines, that's not fun. Like, if you can't tell, I'm just like mentally exhausted. This is already 2021, man. It's already been a mentally exhausting year. After this, I can do a nice little reset, and I've learned a lot about myself as a sewist, so that's good. Like, I've learned that, look, I'm not pretending that this embroidery is great, but I'm better at embroidery than I thought I would be. Oh my gosh, Kathy Hay said something in a recent video, and she was like, we over anticipate what we can do in a day. And like, I feel that, but also at the same time, like, there were days where I sewed 2 panels of the skirt together and that was it, because I just kept encountering so many issues with the project, so many road bumps, and I'd have a panic attack and I'd have no energy, and I'm just being like real, you know? Throwback to when I started my YouTube channel, I was like, this is gonna be like one of those channels where I post like aesthetic sewing videos, or like, yeah, this is a vlog channel, which I'm fine with, you know, like, I like this. I feel like it's good for me and my 15 subscribers, because I can talk through my issues. Like, even if I don't have a lot of traffic on my channel and I don't have people like commenting advice and stuff like that, just being able to like film what I'm doing, and like, one, it holds me accountable, but also it gives me an outlet to talk through things and stumble upon more realizations, I guess. So I will see you guys when the skirt is done. Hopefully it will be tonight, but it will definitely be well before noon tomorrow. Okay, friends, how the heck does someone make a skirt that is fitted around the waist and goes over the hips without doing this in the back? I officially don't care. I'm officially entering into the beginner category because I clearly don't know what I'm doing. I don't even know where to begin with this. Like, I just don't know. I'm not having fun, friends. I hate this. Like, I know I've been saying like, oh, I just wanted to submit something I'm proud of. I'm not proud of this. Like, this looks terrible. This looks incomplete. I'm gonna try to hem this thing and get some photos up tonight. I need to do my makeup. My hair is a mess. I'm not happy. I'm not happy. Hello, friends. My work desk is behind me, and my dress form is shorter than me because I am wearing heels. As you can see, things are a little messy down here, but it's fine. So, I'm gonna try to like block this light with my head. So, I figured I would talk to you guys about some things I would have done differently with my Lilly skirt as like a little wrap up. Overall, this was stressful. overall, it did not come out the way that I wanted to. So basically from the get-go, I think I mentioned this in my first video on my channel, I had intended to make a corset for this competition. And I was just really struggling, and I forget if I talked about it. Basically, like, besides, like, I found a thing on, like, how to make the pattern. Beyond that, I don't know how to make a corset, so I was just making everything else up. And also, granted, like I said, I never put the bones in. Neither did I put in lacing, so that obviously is going to change the way the finished product looks, but I was just very unsatisfied with what I was creating, and specifically in the amount of time that I was taking to create it. I opted to do a skirt, and I was going to do a double, I talked about this, I had the black fabric, I was going to do a 2-layer skirt with like the black draping over it and like pull it up like an evening gown, and that didn't work. So I ended up making this skirt. I just like really struggled with my measurement. I feel like there's something that I'm doing wrong. So anyway, what would I have done differently? First off, I don't think this is gonna pick up on my phone, but you can still very visibly see the chalk marks. And that is because I had meant to wash the skirt before I did the embroidery and forgot to, because I did know that this embroidery isn't meant to be like machine washed. So generally timing things, I talked about this earlier in the video, just like general timing, but also like I said, I started my corset back in August. Like I had given myself a few months to work on my project, and then I just ended up changing what I was doing so much. And when I ultimately decided on a skirt, that was like mid-December, but then I still needed to like design it and buy fabric and stuff, and with the holidays it was just overwhelming. Also complications kept coming up. Like I was like, I'm just gonna do a quick mock-up and then we'll make it, and then I made the mock-up and it absolutely did not fit around my hips because I didn't proportion it correctly. And then I was running low on time, so I was like, oh, I'm just going to make the mock-up, my second mock-up, with the lining fabric, and that'll become the lining. And then the hips measurement was still completely off, so I ended up having to add another panel. It was just like more work for myself. And then I forgot that like finishing seams was a thing, and then like the embroidery took longer than planned because like I wouldn't be paying attention and I'd do the wrong stitch or something like that. I was kind of fighting with myself because this isn't what I wanted to create. I had such a vision, and I talked about this earlier too, how like I was worried it would seem like I was like almost BSing my inspiration in my description. I definitely vibed that when I was submitting it last night, because it's Wednesday, February 3rd. This video is not going up today. Because I was just like, it wasn't so much that I was like unhappy. Like I'm really happy that I completed this skirt on time. I'm not unhappy with how it came out. The back is a bit of a mess. Oh, that's what I meant by that. So I planned from the get-go. I was like, I'm going to do the embroidery second. I know that this isn't the normal method of doing it, so I just want to like acknowledge that like I know I did that wrong. Oh, I would have loved to finish the waist by hand so that there were no visible seams on the front. But just because of timing, I couldn't do that. Not that I was not cautious of my seam allowance, but like I wasn't thinking that I would have to finish my seams. I would have made a larger seam allowance, so it would have been easier to fold over. And then also when I was cutting it, I wasn't being very precise about it because I was like, oh, I'll just cut it and encase it. And then I realized what the issue with my method was.
So editing Jillian popping in here to say, I didn't acknowledge that I didn't even press my seams open before I finished them, which is like something you're supposed to do. And I know it's something you're supposed to do, but like I said, I'm not in the habit of finishing my seams. So I didn't think to do that. And then that would have made cutting and just like finishing the seams in general easier.
I would love to remake this skirt, but actually make what I wanted to. My character inspiration for this garment was Lilly Skirt from The Secret Garden. She's dead, and she owned a garden, and she is always like associated with red roses. I'm a designer first, so I have all of these ideas, and I'm really bad at executing them, partially because of my mercurial tendencies, making it hard for me to follow through with projects, but also just generally because like I get so frustrated and discouraged when the thing that I make doesn't perfectly match what I had in mind. Thanks for coming on this wild journey with me, because I'm sure this video is going to be absolute chaos. But yeah, so this is my journey with my first time entering the Foundations Reveal contest, and I'm unsatisfied, but I'm happy that I did it, and it was definitely a learning experience. Thank you for once again joining me. So I'll see you when I see you. Bye! Friends. Okay. We're just gonna do this, and I'm gonna hope I'm not flashing you. Okay, So I'm upside down right now, so I'm trying to figure out how to give you a thumbs up that's actually a thumbs up. Okay. This is probably a really weird angle. See, now I'm confused. Wait. I give up. I'm all fancy now. I got a tripod for Christmas, and now I think I'm cool or something. I got my cat ears on. Hello, friends. Lighting. Please don't look at it too closely. I'm glad the other video saved because we know I have an issue with that. Alright, so I love how when this is too high. Sorry, I just got a Joanne's app notification. Yeah, so anyway, I'm either really going to regret this. So, oh, that's not even the right fabric. So, and it's nice and soft. The underlining, the lining, Jillian. How much of this video is actually going in the video? Is my phone crooked? Why? It's kind of hard to measure because I feel like it's enough to like vibe with the theme. Also, I'm not remaking it at this point because vibes. I'm really washed out. And yeah, so that's that on that. I also officially have my iron back. That's an update. I love it. It's so much lighter than my mom's iron. I actually know how to use it. Hey guys, since I last checked in, I actually cut my bangs. They're uneven as usual, but it's fine. Use towel. Camera's over here, Jillian. My mom helped me with my chemise, and I never finished it because I was running low on time. So like, oh, goodbye, son. This is definitely the wrong order, so I shouldn't even be telling you this. This boy's really big. This one's really small. They're all different. I intentionally made them all different so that I couldn't be a perfectionist and be like, they're not all identical. I'll talk. Oh, no, you don't. It is Tuesday, September. My lips look terrible. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I wasn't sure if someone was like coming home. The longer chemise underneath it. This is like my general overview of things I wanted to do differently. Let's see if I can read my handwriting. So that was that. Yeah, I literally just wrote taken hips into account, question mark, question mark. In a fit of rage, I literally told my mom, I was like, I just want to set this thing on fire if I have to look at it for one more second because it was just causing me so much frustration. Because, you know, my character was Lilly Skirt. I don't even think I talked about that. It didn't save, which is a recurring theme on this channel if you're new here. Ooh. Ending Jillian's gonna have so much fun. This video, I just realized, is at 17 minutes and I have so much footage to edit. So we're gonna stop and my nonsense. And I will see you guys eventually. I